the most fun you'll have in theaters all year. The Wolf of Wall Street. Martin Scorcese is back, and he is crazy, and he's not letting anything hold him back, and his 3-hour cut of Wolf of Wall Street is finally out, and finally able to be seen by people. There's been so much uproar about this movie. Is it gonna come out this year? Is it gonna be 3 hours? Blah, blah, blah. Are they gonna cut this? Are they gonna cut that? Well, the version that made its way into theaters is pretty friggin' awesome. I have to say, The Wolf of Wall Street is such a fun movie about something that usually would go a little over my head, but is kind of really understandable in this film and the way that they choose to portray the story of Jordan Belfort, who basically scammed everybody. This is a film about a stockbroker named Jordan Belfort. It's a true story. It's actually a book in the business section at Chapters if you want to pop by. And basically it's about this man who got really, really rich by screwing a lot of people in very illegal manners. And it's all about selling. I don't know where to start with this movie. Basically, it's a 3-hour movie that feels way less than 3 hours. It flies by. It's completely entertaining. It's so much fun. It's so enjoyable to watch. Leonardo Dicaprio is so good in this role. I want to say it's probably one of his best performances, but he's probably my favorite actor, so I really love a lot of his performances. But he's totally so charismatic, so perfect, so great in this movie. You see this kind of transformation from this good stockbroker little guy who wants to do well in the business, and he becomes completely corrupt, completely insane. It's a lot about his drug usage and his drug addiction and his sex addiction and his just addiction to everything. And the drugs he does are just like friggin' crazy. But it's just such a fun movie about something that could have been kind of boring, but I guess it's not really going to be boring because the real life story of this man is pretty friggin' incredible and pretty out there and extravagant. And that's what this movie's about. It's about extravagance. It's about life on the edge. It's about, living and doing and getting and buying and having and just, more and more and more in excess. Just complete excess. And that's what Jordan's life becomes. Just this excessiveness that's just never ending. This loop of never having what you want and just always going after something more. And that's what this movie is. Jonah Hill is really funny in his role as Donnie, who is basically Jordan's right-hand man. Everyone in this movie is actually really great. Jean Dujardin's in it. Matthew McConaughey is really great in his very small role. I thought he had a bigger role, but he doesn't. Rob Reiner is great in this. Jon Favreau, barely in it. I'm just reading the cast list now. It's just such a fun movie, and it's like so much crazy shit happens, and there's so many standout scenes and so many laugh-out-loud moments for a movie that's about, complete corruption and crime. It's so hilarious. I don't know how they managed this dialogue. Is just so speed quick, so witty, so funny, so out there, so just nothing is being held back in this movie. Same with just the comedy of it. There's some great physical comedy in this movie. There's just some great moments in this movie. It's just very memorable. I just, so much of it just stands out to me so much. It's been a few days since I've seen it. This movie just reminded me so much of Spring Breakers. They're both very much about this life where you need more and you want more and you never really feel fulfilled, and it's just this excessive life. And there's a huge difference between the two movies, obviously, and this is not an arty movie. It's just a complete Scorsese movie. I like this movie a lot. I think it's really fun. I really enjoyed myself watching it, and I would watch it again and again. But it doesn't have any sort of emotional core to it. And it could be kind of purposeful that it doesn't, because that's the same thing. There is no real emotional core to this character and to this kind of a lifestyle. But it doesn't ever really judge Jordan Belfort for what he does. It's very just on the surface what happened, and no critique and no consequence. It barely highlights the consequence of his actions. Whereas a film like Spring Breakers, I feel, is so satirical and such a critique of that lifestyle more so. I feel people who watch Spring Breakers don't feel that way, but that's completely how I feel about Spring Breakers, that it's really kind of poking fun at that, and it's critiquing it, and it's making you more aware of it, whereas this film kind of makes you want it. it's more like, this is how amazing it could be, and like there is no consequence, and whatever, like live life, do what you want, have everything. Whereas Spring Breakers is that, but like these are like what happens to you and how crazy you look and how bizarre you are for doing that. And I mean, this film does too. I mean, like, it's so over the top. The stuff that happens in this film is so over the top. I mean, probably would happen in real life. But as a film, as a narrative, it doesn't ever really judge the fact that this is so over the top. It's just very, like, that's how it is. And I liked that about it, too. But it's a fun feeling film. I just felt like it didn't have any sort of emotional impact on me, whereas I wouldn't say Spring Breakers has an emotional impact, but it kind of leaves you like a little stunned. And this movie leaves you more like hyper and like, yes, yes, you feel like you're on drugs just as much as they are. You feel like you're on coke just as much as they are. It's just so energetic. It's so entertaining. It's so everywhere and all over the place, but like in a good way. And the acting is so fantastic. Leonardo DiCaprio, I hope you get the nomination. I don't know if you'll win, but I hope you at least get the nomination. You give such a great performance in this movie and you deserve it so much. And it's just such a fun movie, and I really, really enjoyed The Wolf of Wall Street. There's not much more to say about it other than the fact that it's really fun, and my one deeper critique that it doesn't really have anything much deeper to it, but it is a completely, very, extremely, extraordinarily well directed, obviously, and acted, and everything about it is just really, really, really awesome. It's awesome. It's kick-ass. It's just like a fun, crazy film. So, if you want to have fun at the movies this year, go see The Wolf of Wall Street. Yeah, that's my review. I'm giving The Wolf of Wall Street an A, and thank you so much for watching my review. I'm Adriana. My blog is fresh from the theater. If you like what you see, please subscribe. Thank you.